Yeah. So I have gathered the most chaotic, TikTok-brained content creators I could think of to help us save our little sharky friend. For those who aren't aware, Jeff recently got hit with a fantastic rework that was really good and it went down really well with a player base. They basically gutted him. He can swim for 6 seconds now and no longer. He has free bubbles that heal over time instead of instantly. He can only shoot 3 times and then takes 9 seconds to gain those free shots back. It's not looking great for our Sharky friend. But I reckon if we combine our 4 brains, we might be able to fix it. So the first person that I'm going to introduce you, a lot of you already knew, you were very excited to see them, Flankmetra.
Oh, hi guys. Here to save Jeff. Hashtag save Jeff. Woohoo.
Exactly. Goated, the goat. Then we have King Jeff, who is not a content creator, but a big part of the Jeff community. They own the Jeff Discord community. And for those of you in my server, you're probably aware I've been sort of channeling people over there recently to try and help organize Save Jeff. This entire thing wouldn't be happening without them and their ability to bring Jeff content creators together, so they're very cool. Say hi, King.
What's up? I'm just here to be y'all's voice. Nothing more, nothing less.
We love King. King's very cool. And then last but not least, the very smiley Realmzy. Everybody knows Realmzy, and we all love Realmzy. The TikTok brain rot king.
Hello, it is I, TikTok Jeff.
TikTok Jeff. We love.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yep. We've got the king of bits, we've got the king of Discord, and we've got the king of Discord shit posting. So I'm gonna start it off with it should be easy question for you all. In a short number of words, we'll start with Flank, just because they're to my right, so it's easier. On a scale of 1 to 5 stars, how do you personally rate the Jeff rework, and why do you feel that way?
All right, so pre-work Jeff was an absolute treasure to the entire Marvel Rivals community. He was our little boy. He was our little Sharky. He was so special in everything he did. His ultimate, his kit, his little flanks, and we know we love the flanks. However, they decided to completely gut and rip him apart. Everything. There's not a single part of him they left the same, to be honest. They just nerfed him completely, which is, of course, obviously 100% unacceptable. And we're here to fight that and spread awareness, spread the word, and hopefully, if we're successful, we can prevent this massacre of our little boy. So yeah, I would rate it 1 star, completely trashed, and we will fight back at all costs.
I can't think of a better way to put it, to be honest. You took the words straight out of my mouth. We'll jump over to King's muted, so we'll go to Realmzy. Realmzy, how do you feel?
I'd give him about 1 to 2 stars, only because with the rework, I think they've gone the wrong way about it. If they were going to rework him, they need to add to it, not take away. At the moment, I think the only problem that a lot of people find with Jeff is his survivability. But people don't realize it's a good player will always be able to counter a really bad placed Jeff. So it takes a lot of mind and it takes a lot of skill to get Jeff to a certain point where you can DPS an entire back line, tripling the kills of your regular DPS and support and tanks, as well as offering a good support to him. So I just think they've butchered his entire kit, losing his entire personality and what everyone used him for, pretty much.
Jesus, who knew that TikTok Jeff had such base takes? Honest. So we are 2 for 2 at the moment, chat. I feel like we haven't had a misstep so far, which is spot on. Now, finally, King Jeff, man of the people, representative of the community, not a content creator, one of the boys. How do you feel about the Jeff? How do the people feel about Jeff? Tell me.
Well, obviously 5 stars. I'm just joking, not 5 stars. So a lot of what I've seen is that people are mostly just mad that Jeff, it seems like his in-game personality is changing. A lot of Jeffs like to go into Doom matches and they like to go and spray water at each other like they're kissing. and you simply won't be able to do that anymore without killing each other. You won't be able to do a lot of the Jeff techs that have gotten a couple of y'all really popular. Like Realmzy, a lot of your content is based on these Jeff techs that simply won't be viable anymore. And I think a lot of people are just super upset that the reason we were drawn to Jeff is because he's so cute and adorable, and we love what he can do and how unique he is. And they're kind of just stripping that away from him and making him like every other character with no uniqueness to his like kit. So 1 star.
I mean, totally understandable. I mean, let's be honest. Whilst there are a lot of Jeff players that are like, say, myself, that want to push Jeff as far as they can and climb the ladder with him, there's also a lot of Jeff players that do just play him because he's a silly little guy, and we love our silly little guy. And removing the ability to be our silly little guy, we can't let that stand, can we? It's not acceptable. So I totally agree with you there, King, and I think some of those words were taken straight from the chat, honestly. Wonderful take. I obviously agree with everything you guys have said, that they've neutered his personality. For those who saw me play yesterday when I was in the early access, I wasn't very happy. He's not even a tickle monster. He's sort of just sad. I think calling him sad is the best way to like identify.
He's pretty much just become like the next Wanda, I say personally, which sucks.
Just laughably bad. He doesn't really have a place. I know he can heal and attack at the same time, but Invisible Woman can do that, and she's far more useful and far stronger. Like, she's one of the better supports in the game. Then you have like Loki, who provides way more utility and way more damage, and Mantis obviously provides way more damage. It feels like he's lost his personality in both the meta and casually, which is where I would like to ask you guys your second question. Now, we are all about the same rank. We're all like semi-casual players that like to dip into ranks sometimes. I think we're all people that enjoy the fun side of the game more than the ranked climb specifically. But we will jump to Realmzy first. How do you think these changes will affect Jeff in the meta, and do you think it will be a good or a bad thing? I think we already know where this is going.
It's difficult because you can see with Jeff and his current kit in ranked, it takes a very good Jeff to really, as a second support, to really get in there and get like with the team. Like, everyone's really experienced at the moment how much Jeff struggles in a double support scenario. His ult is one situational, so it means that the team has to be bunched up to manage to get more than one person in your ult. It's got a timer on it already, meaning that there has to be a ledge or something for you to get off. As well as he's very squishy. So enabling him to do the DPS that needs, he is very good for putting the pressure on the enemy teams with your team, rather than if you have like a Luna Snow or a Invisible Woman, they'll just get dived. Anybody will dive them and not think about it. But with a Jeff, you have the ability to stay with your team, dive in with your team, heal your team if needed, dive back out, and then if you have enough time, you can dive around the backlines and pick off their supports. But I think at the moment with Jeff, the only issue with him is the fact he can't keep up with the other healers based on the healing stats. His heals aren't enough. His survivability at the moment is annoying, and everyone can say that, but that's why he's enjoyable. Is because his playstyle is very menacing. It fits who he is in the comics. He's not meant to run like Luna or Mantis or Rocket. He's meant to be a very annoying, mischievous character. So with him, you're meant to dive, I believe, the enemy players. You're meant to do all this damage because it's who he is. I think there is an upside to his changes, with the fact he can do damage with his water, only for the fact now he can counter flying characters like the Human Torch, Wanda, Iron Man, the same characters that are very easily used in these big up ranks with the team ups that are just crazy to just take out your teams into oblivion, costing you the match. So I think there's a definitely a different route they could have gone with how they've reworked him for ranked at the moment.
Oh, 100%. I think everything you said there was fair. For Jeff's ultimate to play off well, you do need a cliff, or you need like very specific teammates that can, you know, combo into it. I mean, the Wonder one was very popular on TikTok for a while. You'd see all the clips of Wonder players and Jeff players queuing together, and the Jeff throwing people out into a finishing Wonder ult. So like, you do have situations like that, but like 90% of the time, if there isn't a specific cliff nearby or a teammate ready to follow up, a Jeff ult is just a stall tool. Or like a remove a singular enemy from the fight tool, like, and that doesn't really change in high. Like the higher elo you go, like it doesn't really change. It just becomes harder to pick people up. But let's see if Flankmetra agrees. How do you feel about the rework and how it might affect Jeff in meta?
So feel free to call me biased, but I have always been a flanker. That's how I was raised and grown.
Never would have guessed.
You know, ride for flank caller, right? Never would have guessed. And Jeffy, arguably, is probably one of the best flankers. Arguably. I'm sure there's a lot of others. Magic, obviously, is my personal favorite. I don't even play Jeff a lot of the time, to be honest. But I know Jeff is a good flanker, and there's something unique about flanking in general, you know, because not a lot of characters can do it to start out with, but it also, I think, requires a certain personality to flank. You know, not a lot of people are really personally inclined to leave the big team fight and go way around the corner, you know, and penetrate the backline. Like, that's just not something everyone does. But I feel with the Jeff community, especially, they're very more flank inclined because they're just more, it's kind of in their spirit, you know? It's kind of just their vibe, you know? They do whatever they want. They waddle over here, they waddle over there, and they flank. And his kit really allowed him to do that quite well. And that's one reason they resonated so heavily with Jeff, you know, and kind of bonded with this character in such a unique and special way. But now they're taking away that core identity of the flanker, which I think this game kind of needs. You know, there's all these different play styles, you know, the flanker, you know, the more of a head-on charging tank Captain America who just never, stops running, never dies. So we kind of just need this variety, and that's what makes the game so rich in the first place. So when you take out like a whole subset of play style, you're damaging Jeff and the whole community as a whole. So this is definitely an L update.
Yeah, and I feel like something that we should mention whilst we're quite early on is, I don't think any of us are like, Jeff shouldn't be allowed to heal. None of us are saying, like, remove the healing from Jeff. There are plenty of Jeff players that specifically play him like a healer. There are many that just play him like a DPS, and I would argue the best players do both. But this update, in a meta way and a just different playstyle variety way, strips away some of his options, right? He can't flank as effectively now. He definitely can't fight as effectively. He can't survive dives as effectively, removing his peeling options because he'll just get killed. So it's one of these things where in trying to give him a stronger sense of a specific role, they've sort of narrowed him to a point where he doesn't have a role. He can't really heal as effectively as other supports because he can't survive. He can't do the same damage to protect himself or flank. He doesn't have the mobility he has in the current live patch. He obviously is permanent swim. Whereas now it's for 6 seconds. I don't know how many of you were there for the stream yesterday, but like if you three were there, you will have seen that I would leave spawn swimming and get like 10 feet outside of spawn, and then I'd be above ground walking, and it doesn't feel good. It feels janky, and whilst that is mostly a fun issue, in terms of meta, jankiness affects your ability to make smoother plays that you can't rotate as easily. You might not be able to get away with as many, flashier, more fun plays within ranked systems. So I definitely think what you said there was like right, Flank. We understand what they're trying to do, but people like to flank on Jeff, and not an insignificant amount of them. So removing that play style definitely upset the people. And speaking of the people, King Jeff, how do the people feel about how do the people feel about Jeff in the meta next season? What are their predictions and feelings about it?
I think a lot of people, from what I've seen, are kind of predicting a total collapse of the Jeff community. Like, there's a lot of people that I see like advocating like, don't play Jeff, don't play rivals. Now, personally, I'm still gonna play Jeff because he's a silly little guy and I love him. But a lot of people play Jeff like a healer. They just play a healer because a lot of players aren't like super big into the meta. And from what I understand about the new update, is his healing is gonna just be in the gutter compared to what it is now, and it's already not that good. And in terms of the meta specifically, I don't really play Jeff like a dive. I got up to Diamond 2 just playing Jeff as a healer and getting kills where I can. You know, occasionally I'd solo ult a Venom, drag him off, and go make him 1v1 me, and I'd win. But
We love
a lot of people are just, oh yeah, a lot of people are just really upset that they're not going to be able to play Jeff the way they enjoy playing him currently, just in general. Like from both sides of the coin, it's just going to be an overall worse experience. And I think Jeff's pick rate is going to drop significantly because of it.
It does feel like we're losing something. It doesn't feel like I feel like when a character is reworked, the most important thing is we don't feel like we're losing something, and we definitely do. This isn't like
one more thing.
Go on.
So another thing I wanted to mention, a lot of people are talking about Jeff being like overpowered, like people who hate Jeff. And to those people, I just want to point out, the only rank where Jeff's win rate is positive is 1 above all, and his pick rate is 2.5%.
So it's one tricks.
And so, yeah, it's just one tricks who are like absolute sweat demons who never miss. They know the perfect spots for every single map. They are perfect Jeff players. There's only 2.5% pick rate, and he's at a 60-something% win rate. That's his only positive win rate in the whole game.
I didn't know that. That's interesting, though. The only time Jeff gets a positive win rate is when it's like literally the best not professional players. That's really interesting. Yeah. No, that's really cool. Hey, we should get some King Sharks in chat for that. That's a really cool factoid. I didn't know, like, genuinely. I wonder, because you would have thought by the time people get to GM, they've sort of figured out how to play him effectively enough to win more than 50% of their games on average, right? But I guess not.
So from my experience, once you get up into Diamond, like at Diamond 1, playing Jeff just becomes significantly harder. I don't know what it is. Maybe players have like learned how to counter him perfectly. If you can break through the barrier to get into GM and higher with Jeff, you've got a good chance of making it to 1 above all with him. You just got to be really adaptable and like figure out how to change your playstyle up.
100%. I've been coining a term called the GM free wall. In my climb, I find that Diamond 1 and GM 3 is the hardest rank to get through. Because it's at that point where, unless you're a Smurf from top 500, like I'm not a top 500 Smurf, I'm a silly fucking idiot. Like, you know what I mean? I do silly things and I play silly games and I do dumb stuff. I'm not a Smurf. So when I get to these ranks, I'm no longer good enough to solo carry a game, meaning I do need help from my team. But the amount of like ego players and people that just give up immediately or flame you because you're playing Jeff, like it increases substantially in that rank. I thought it would have peaked in Plat because that was rough, but no, it was even worse in Diamond and GM3. But it doesn't seem to be so bad now that I've got past that GM3 wall. Like once you break through GM3, it gets a bit easier on you. And honestly, queuing it in at least a duo is a lifesaver. Shout out to Frenchie and all of my Ravengers that have been helping me climb.
Yeah,
honestly. Do you have something to say? Go on.
It's like with ranked and stuff. Like if you can climb with Jeff, like Jeff takes a lot of skill out of even though he's the easiest. I'd say personally myself, I've managed to climb like I think last season. I think I dropped from Grandmaster 3 times and I boosted myself back up there solo queuing because I found that was easiest for me. But I think as you go up in the ranks, I think more people have more awareness because the higher a Jeff is, the more experience they've played on him, so they know how to flank well, and then he becomes a problem for people. So I think they've got more awareness around a good Jeff. Whereas if you're in silver and stuff, people are still getting into the game. So it's like, right, I'm in silver, I'm in bronze, I don't need to worry. You know, people are still trying out the comp, so they aren't really experienced, I say personally. But once you hit that Grandmaster, they've experienced like these Jeffs that have gone in there simply to heal and then to dive them. So they've got a lot more awareness then for these Jeffs that are just like crazy rogue, pretty much.
Oh, 100%. As you get into high area, people tend to trust you a little bit more to... they tend to trust you to know what you're doing, I feel.
Yeah.
You're always going to have those ego players that, you know, I know best and you're a fucking idiot because you're not playing top of meta.
Yeah.
But, like, you do get more people that are like, hey, I'm just here to win, and I know if I don't kill, I have a higher chance of winning.
Yeah.
The next question I wanted to throw your guys' way is... and I was going to lead into it earlier, and it was a really smooth interaction, but then King Jeff very rudely decided he needed to share more information, and I cannot believe it. He threw me off entirely. How dare he? I was going to ask, so when a character's reworked, I think we would all agree that the main person that should benefit from the rework is the character's player base. When Jeff is reworked, It should be the Jeff players that feel the benefit from that. And I don't mean he should be reworked to be more powerful, but if you're going to rework a character, they need to be equally or more fun than they currently were. Power level doesn't really matter. Who do you think benefited the most from Jeff's rework? We'll go with Realmzy first.
Personally, for me, I think a lot of the DPS and tanks have benefited from it more than actual Jeff players themselves. I think, you know, a good Jeff will stay with their team as well as delivering the right amount of damage that needs to be damaged. I think a lot of this rework has come from the fact that people are too lazy to work on their skill to counter a really bad position Jeff. I'm playing Jeff myself a lot. Like, I think I've racked up a good nearly 85 hours playing Jeff. Like, he's counterable. Like, there's no shape or form that you can't say a Jeff is not counterable. He's annoying to deal with, yeah. But when you have the right communication with your team that's needed, because it's a team-based game, to take out a Jeff, he's very easily being able to take out because he's a squishy, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
I think... even though he's the easiest to do, it takes a lot of dedication to be like, right, I'm going to leave you guys at the moment. I'm going to go dive their backlines, put myself at risk, so then that way we can start pushing the payload. Because people don't understand is the fact that when a Jeff is in the backlines, they're going to focus on that Jeff. They're not going to focus on the payload. So when you're diving their healers, the healers are strictly going to panic over this Jeff because they don't know what to do. They've got limited defense against a Jeff. So you would in the backlines going crazy against their supports. They're gonna scramble back to their supports, and if they don't got good communication, then you can take out their supports, meaning that your team can dive forward, pushing theirs because they've got no heals no more. So there's no heals coming in from their end, and you've just taken them out in the backline. So you've done your job, I believe, as a support to pick them off, giving your team the liability to peel for you with their tanks, as well as you peeling for your own team by taking out the enemies because they couldn't do it. So you need that pressure with Jeff to put on to come out on top of a battle. Whereas with you don't see a Luna flanking, you don't see a Mantis flanking. You don't see any of these other healers flanking, but with a Jeff, you can both flank and heal at the same time, making him a good pick, viable, to balance out the healing and the damage for your team, so that you come out on top of any battle, I'd say personally.
Yeah, I mean, I think whilst you were chatting away, chat was largely agreeing with you, and somebody said something that I think really summed it up. The heroes that benefit most from Jeff's rework is everybody apart from Jeff.
Absolutely, yeah.
Everybody
it's
apart
like
from Jeff benefits more than Jeff.
Yeah, if you're a good DPS or you are a good tank, a Jeff's not an issue for you. Like, if you look at Hela, for example, she's a hit scan character. She can just one-tap you in the head as Jeff and you're gone. Same as Hawkeye. Same as Widow. These are the characters that very easily counter supports, but we need a support that counters them, you know, because a lot of the times a DPS can't do that because of the damage output they give. So with a Jeff, it's very easily to scramble a Hela or a Hawkeye because there's only a limit they can do close up front. They need really good aim from a close distance rather than far away because of the hit scan, I believe. Whereas once you're up in their face, close and personal, and with a small hitbox, there's not much they can do against that, meaning that you have the upper hand.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you or distract from what you've just said, but we just got 5 gifted from Cold Stardew, and I don't want to ignore that. That's can we W gifted? Like, honestly,
in the chat.
We love Stardew. Wow. Okay, so we were holy shit. Wait, what? 9 type gifted 5? 5 more. Oh, we love gifted. Give me more money, guys. Honestly, I mean, hey.
Goated?
Keep it up. I mean. I get really awkward when people subscribe. I'm still not used to it, and I don't know how to react.
That's real.
I've done YouTube for a long time. I've done Twitch, not very much. Twitch is still very new to me. Hey, 9 is a friend of mine. They're very cool. We've played games together. We met back in the Helldivers days. It was dope. But not to distract too heavily, let's stay to the question at hand. Who benefits the most from Jeff's rework? Flankmetra.
Hello guys. Okay, so first off, W in the chat, thanks for the gifted. For those who don't know Raven, I would just like to state as a fact that he kind of brought this all together. So this is like completely on them. So just acknowledge that. But anyway, yeah, so who benefits? The Jeff nerf is literally everyone but Jeff. You know, it's like... it's like really bad. And honestly, I don't blame people for enjoying other characters' nerfs. I think it's a natural thing to do. And for example, like I can ask chat right now, I'm sure we've all had a very unpleasant experience with Scarlet Witch or something. I don't know. I'm not throwing out the Scarlet hate, but just as like an overlying base, right? But like, okay, we've all been there where we're on half health. We're trying to, you know, find a health pack, and freaking Scarlet pops out of nowhere, slurps you with, you know, the one tap slurp, and you just can't do anything about it, you know, and it's really frustrating. So, you know, imagine if, you know, Marvel Rivals came out and said, hey, we're nerfing Scarlet to the ground. Like, of course we'd be happy, you know, like it's a very natural reaction. And I don't really blame people who don't play Jeff to love the nerf, because, you know, like if they're fighting a really good Jeff, then, you know, it's going to make them climb a bit easier, you know, if their opponent is just weaker. You know, rocket science, right? It's not a good way. That's not how you balance characters, because it's very easy to just throw around, you know, a lot of hate and, you know, crapping on other characters. But like, that's not how you balance a character. You balance a character based on who plays that character, because they are the ones that are making Jeff content. They're the ones that are making the Jeff memes. They're the ones that kind of, you know, they buy the Jeff merch. Their identity revolves around Jeff. Like, those are the ones you're supposed to please. And going back to what Raven said, yeah, you know, we're not asking for a massive buff here. You know, we're not asking for him to become immortal, right? Like, that's obviously quite silly. We're not asking for that. We're just asking for Jeff. We miss Jeff. We want Jeff. And that's why we're here.
Yeah, of course. Like, going back to what we said before, the biggest problem with the Jeff rework isn't to do with the fact that he's probably the weakest character in the game at the moment. We don't mind. We don't even... And somebody's first time message in chat a second ago was, you guys are just upset because you have to heal now. It's like, first off, watch our...
We've been doing that anyway.
Yeah, watch my fucking videos. Like, I heal constantly. I heal and I damage. That's the optimal way to play Jeff. But secondly, we're upset because we've lost the option to do damage. He's objectively less fun. He isn't as mobile now, and we're losing something there. It isn't about being forced to heal, because if we just wanted to do damage, we'd play Hela.
Yeah. But it's like they've nerfed his heals as well, so it's like we can't do neither. That's why we're upset.
Exactly.
It's like, we aren't upset we can't DPS in the backlines. That's not a problem for us. It's the fact that they slashed the healing, making him even worse than he was before.
Yeah, it isn't Jeff anymore. He isn't Jeff. I mean, King Jeff, you tell us, how do the people feel about it? Who do the people think benefited the most from the Jeff changes?
I think I'm going to get a little bit more specific. I think specifically dive DPSs are benefiting the most. Because while, yeah, there are plenty of people who DPS Jeff, I do occasionally. I mean, I mostly I do just healing Jeff, but occasionally I'll go and DPS Jeff, and I have like a somewhat 50% success rate with it. I'm not phenomenal at it. I don't do it all that much. But the DPS dive characters and even Venom and a couple dive tanks, their jobs are going to be so much easier fighting against a Jeff because now they know Jeff can't get away from them. He can't self-sustain his way out of it. And he likely won't even be able to beat them in a one-on-one fight at all.
Oh, he can't.
And it's just going to be super awful all around.
Yeah, King Jeff.
And let me be clear. We're not just upset because Jeff was changed. We're upset because something that brought us together was taken away without warning or reason. Oh. Jeff isn't just a fun sidekick. He's the heart of a community that's been hyped, creative, and loud from day one. We've made fan art. We've made videos. We started movements. Not just because Jeff was funny, but because he mattered to us, our cute little guy. The new design, it's not just a redesign. It's a reminder that our voices were ignored. Marvel Rivals isn't just a game, it's a living world we want to be part of. And right now, the devs are building that world without the people who care the most. We're here to change that and to say, like, listen to the players, listen to the creators, listen to the Jeffs. We're not asking for the world, we're asking for a fish. But for our community, he is the world. Give us our shark back. Hashtag save Jeff.
Real.
I mean, honestly, you couldn't have said it better yourself. We're not asking for him to be S tier. We don't want to. In fact, I've specifically said, I don't know how you guys feel exactly about this, but I can assume to speak on your behalf here. None of us want Jeff to be overpowered. We don't want to log on to season 2.5 and find Jeff is banned every game and completely broken. Part of the fun of Jeff is his unique and slightly different playstyle, and with that, we expect him to be maybe slightly below average in power when you're first picking him up. But that doesn't matter to us, because he's fun, and he's cute, and he's got so much personality in his design. If you've ever looked at any of the comic art I use on my channel, or read the actual comics, you'll see Jeff is such a character, and has such heavy personality to him, that they captured so well with his mischievous, annoying, zip around your ankles and nip at you type play style that he had. And they've taken that from us. And again, it isn't that we're like, we don't want to heal. A good Jeff heals. We don't want to only have the option to heal mediocrely. Mediocrely, is that a word?
Yeah.
We don't want to only heal, but we also don't want to only DPS. We want to do both. We want to play the hybrid, flexible character that we all love. We want to be able to dive and put pressure on the backline, and then rotate back and maybe replace our Luna that got picked off. Or there's been games where I've played with triple support in the backlines the entire game, not to heal my tanks or my DPS, but to peel for my supports the entire game. Jeff is an incredibly flexible character, and the fact that they nerfed him, calling it a nerf is unfair. It isn't a nerf. They just deleted him and replaced him with a different character. But the fact they've changed him so heavily has sort of left this weird gap that can't be filled. And I think the real answer to the question, whilst it could be any hero or divers or any of the answers these guys have given, is 100% correct. The real answer is there's only losers. Like the rest of the community might not see it yet, but if we allow this type of drastic changing to be made because people are throwing a tantrum, it could happen to anyone. I made the example in my video that went up today. I do not like Loki. Like, my chat winds me up all the time about it. I really do not like Loki. But if they rework Loki to play like Black Panther because people complained about Loki, I wouldn't support that change.
No.
Because that's not fair on the people that like Loki. He annoys me. I find him incredibly unfun. But that doesn't mean I think we should take him away from people that like him. Stardew's gifted 7 more subs. I did see the other 5. But 7 more subs in total. Stardew's going fucking wild, paying my bills. If they keep going, they're going to be paying for my Retroid Pocket 5, and I'll be able to stream retro games soon. Honestly, keep it up. Behold the king. We love a king raid. We love a king raid. Thank you, all of King Shark's friends, for coming in. King Shark, King Jeff's friends, for coming in.
I love you all.
Yeah, we
I tell you every day, I love you.
Yeah, it's wholesome to see our communities coming together to unite under the idea that no, we don't want Jeff to be overpowered. No, we understand that there may need to be some changes to his kit, but what we want is Jeff. He might have to lose some healing from when he's swimming or lose a bubble or two, but he should stay as Jeff. And right now, he isn't staying as Jeff. In an effort to not have us go on for like 3 hours, let's shuffle on to the next set of questions, unless anybody has anything else they want to add to that question.
Just a quick point, I guess, but they call him a strategist, right? Like, you're taking away half the strategy.
Oh,
you know,
skill
like,
ceiling's on the floor
yeah.
now. They've reduced
Right,
the skill
like-
ceiling massively.
yeah, so just pointing that out there. He's supposed to be a strategist, guys,
Yeah.
not just a freaking
It's not a
backline
support
healer.
like Overwatch.
No,
Otherwise,
no.
it'd
I
be
think a
called
lot of people.
support.
I think a lot of people read the word strategist and they think like, oh, like Battlefield, the medic class, like they're
Yeah.
just there to heal you and keep you in the fight. Like, no, a strategist is there to like heal, but also make like actual changes to the dynamic
Yeah.
of what's going on.
Well, there's a
Like, not just sit there and heal you.
Well, there's a reason that people can't agree what to call it. Some people call it support, some people call it strategist because that's what it's labeled as in game. Other people call it healers. Now, the only one of those I would say is wrong is when you refer to the entire class as healers, because they're not all
Yeah.
healers. Is Ultron a healer? He has one
No.
healing ability and his ultimate heals
Yeah.
technically as well. And then he has a team up. So I'm not going to count the team up because you're not going to have that every game. His ultimate heals, and he has a slow healing ability. He's in the strategist category. He's a DPS that has a healing part of his kit. The strategists are support style heroes. Their job
Yeah.
isn't to necessarily rack up 100 kills. Their job is to support the team in different ways depending on their kit, through utility, through healing some of them. Some of them are healers. But their job is to support the team as the backbone that keeps them standing through utility, shields, damage, reduction via like Loki lamps, you know, ultimates like Luna's and Visible Ones. They aren't specifically about healing. They are about supporting the team. And this idea that Jeff has to be changed to be a healer because he's in the strategist category is kind of ridiculous to me and doesn't fit in with the newest hero, Ultron, who isn't a healer by any measure. Like, his job isn't to heal. Like, Invisible Woman, she's a healer. Luna, she's a healer. Mantis and Adam, I wouldn't call those guys healers.
They're more DPS.
Yeah, they're like a middle ground between DPS and healing. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
But
It's like, oh, am I interrupting you?
No.
My apologies. My apologies.
go on.
I think if you look at, so for example, we all know Overwatch. We've all started off with Overwatch. If you look at the difference between Marvel Rivals and Overwatch and the two classes, in Overwatch, they're called supports. They purposely have the reason to heal your team. There's not much you can do to counter and add to that team other than supporting your team. But I believe the direction they went with Marvel Rivals is because they're heroes and they all function differently with different personalities. I believe they settled on the word strategist is because you have to strategize the balance between providing enough heals for your team so they come out on top, as well as providing enough damage to poke the enemies, allowing your team to work together to pick them off. Now, personally, I believe I've played a good bunch of healers and I have a few of them loaded. And each one I can say is unique in a different playstyle. I believe that if you are simply there to heal your team and purely support your team, I believe that you are part of the reason of throwing the match, and here's why. I don't think they meant to just sit there and heal. Otherwise, like, you're just gonna throw. Because when you sit there and heal, what you've got to understand is as you heal, you're providing them more damage to build on their ults to counter you. So if you help with your team to balance out the DPS as well as the healing, you're feeding their ults less. Meaning that they aren't going to build up a quicker ult charge, meaning they're not going to get it as quick as your team then, basically. While you're DPSing and while you're healing, you're enabling them to build up, you're enabling your own team to build up their ult charges quicker, rather than vice versa, and them building their ult charges to wipe you out.
Yeah, I agree. Like, there isn't a single... Even if we look at the healers in the game, that should just be heal botting. Heal botting is not something that works in a higher elo lobby. It might work in, like, you know, maybe up to like gold or even maybe plat, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But like, as you climb, you learn very quickly you aren't just heal bots. That isn't how supporting works. You need to be that backbone for the team, and they have many jobs depending on who you are. Like, it differs from hero to hero, but for example, Jeff's job was often to dive with, say, a Captain America or a Panther or a Spider-Man, because not only is Jeff really hard to kill, but he'd make them harder to kill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've also got to mention the Groot team up with Jeff.
Oh, the Groot.
A lot of times I'll just jump on Groot and I'll be in the mix up on the front line with Groot. And like even in diamond lobbies, that still works phenomenal for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Like as long as I'm keeping Groot alive, we're still in the fight and we're still making a difference.
Even with that now, if you look at the team map and with it,
not the Groot
even
team
though it
Adam,
remains,
the Groot when Groot ults, I think is what we're talking about.
I know with a Groot, like if you look at a Groot and a Jeff now, a good Groot and a Jeff is undefeatable because you can sit on a Groot and you can dive off whenever you want, and you allow the Groot to use his walls without the damage penetrating the walls, destroying them. Now, with this new rework, you have to look at the fact that if his water beam now does damage, how is that going to affect a Groot's wall behind an enemy team that allows him to do more of that damage now that he's nerfed too? It's just going to melt the walls, meaning that he can't get enough efficient damage in, practically.
No, I agree. Sorry, no, I agree. Yeah, sorry, I got distracted by something at the end there. But yes, you're correct. Like, but this is the thing. The best way to play supports, we're focusing on Jeff because a lot of us here are Jeff mains or Jeff players. But every support has jobs outside of healing, whether it be focusing on the combos that they might do, the side jobs they might have, the things that their support individually is best at. Now, again, some supports are just best at healing, and they will heal a lot. But other supports have other jobs, like outputting damage, like, say, an Adam, who is not, to give a different example from Jeff, his job isn't to just heal the entire game. He has to put out damage to get his healing back quicker now, which is a good change I think was made to him, by the way. And he also has to think about the timing on, I forget the name of his ability, but the one where he ties his teammates together and you share damage. What's it called? Binding or something?
Yeah. Soul binding.
Soul binding or something. You know what I mean, guys.
Yeah.
That ability on its own, like that is a utility ability, not a healing ability. It doesn't necessarily, you don't use it because it heals. You use it because it is one of the strongest counters to a lot of things in the game. So like that, like there's a lot of characters that have jobs in the strategist category that aren't healing. So I think this idea that Jeff needed to be changed to be a healer because other healers are healers is kind of ridiculous. Because they're not. The next question I wanted to go on to is a bit more of a fun one, a bit lighter, because we've had quite an in-depth discussion there, got quite heavy. The next thing is, so obviously a lot of us here, in fact all of us here, support the Save the Jeff movement. We love Save Jeff. All of us have in some way taken part in it, whether it be making propaganda for TikTok or posting it through our Discords or making videos for our content channels. We've all taken part in Save Jeff. But there is one big thing that we've all been spreading, the Save Jeff petition. It's hit over it's almost at 2k signatures now, right? It's getting close to 2k. If you haven't signed it, you definitely should.
Yeah, I'll give you an exact count here in just a second.
Yeah, you look that up and let me know. But I will ask Flankmetra first. If NetEase...
We're at 1900.
Yeah, crazy guys. Come on, we can get 100 more signatures. We can do that easy. By the end of the stream, we'll hit 2k
signatures. We can do 1,000
signatures.
more.
I believe in you. So, Flank, I'll ask you this first. If NetEase was to cave, but you had to keep one of the perceived negative changes, to be clear. You can't cheat and say the passive. One of the changes that have been made for the rework, which one would you keep and why? So, for example, would you keep the changed ice shot, the changed aqua blast, the changed dive, the changed bubble? What would you keep if you had to keep one thing and everything else was reverted?
So I guess take in mind, I'm not specifically a Jeff main, so my answer may not be the smartest or most thought out because I simply don't play our Lord Jeff. I do believe, and I could be wrong, actually that's really tricky because from what I understand, his dive, like when he goes into the ground, like just that simple animation, it does damage. Is that correct?
No, when he dives, he doesn't do damage to people.
He doesn't. Oh, okay.
No.
Never mind. It must have been a dream. I was coping in my sleep. Dang it, man. None of these changes are really that good because it's essential that he has his DPS for flanking. It's essential that he has his unlimited dive for flanking. So that only leaves bubble, and that's like also really important for diving as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, survivability. But I think if you had to choose between the three, I'd probably get rid of the bubbles, although I'd be very upset and I still wouldn't be very content.
Interesting. I'll give my answer after I've heard your three answers. I think my chat and my server definitely know where I stand on this. Realmzy or King Jeff, which one do you want to go first?
I can go first.
Sure,
I
you
already
speak
have
on
an
behalf
answer
of the
figured out.
people. What do the people want to keep out of the negative changes?
I think out of the changes, now it may not be exactly a negative change. A lot of people love the idea of Jeff getting more attention, like the new team up with Storm. On paper, it's a great idea. Like that's a funny team up that's right in line with the
a shark
personality of Jeff
tornado
and
is
Jeff
hilarious.
players.
Like the idea behind
Yeah,
it's
like-
really fun. You just can't enjoy it fully because of how weak he is at the moment.
Yeah, like that's a really good idea on paper. I wish they would have done it in a better way under better circumstances. But that's like the one thing I would keep is the new Jeff team up.
Interesting. Now, I am going to have to give you a yellow card there because I said nothing that wouldn't be considered negative by the community. And I don't think the community considers Sharknado to be a negative thing.
Well, a lot of people do because it's not good.
I mean,
Like you said, it's not good, so it's not a good change. It needs to be better.
I'll tell you what, King Jeff, you are representing the people, the community. So the community will vote on if you are correct. Put a 1 in chat if we accept King Jeff's answer, and a 2 if you believe he has to give a different answer that is a negative ability. There's a lot of 2s. There's a lot of 2s. Oh, I see a lot of 2s. Oh, the ones are coming in. They're fighting back.
So, actually, one of the people in my server just pinged me. Hold on, let me check this out, because this looks promising. Where was this? So, one guy just said, give him 4 bubbles instead of 6, if they want to use the original kit without butchering him. Give him 4 instead of 6, still boop, 6-second cooldown. Make his bubbles give an initial healing of 40 HP affected by heal boost. Don't limit the time he dives. Reduce his Aqua Burst ammo to 6 instead of 12, but increase projectile speed to 120 meters a second. Damage stays the same. Increases Joyful Splash ammo. This guy's got some good ideas, but that's about the best answer I can give you. I'm not an expert on the changes. I haven't studied them that much.
So I like the idea of his his shooting attack having 6 ammo and moving faster and feeling more powerful, because it gives me like Revolver in my head. Like Jeff's got like a revolver and he's just firing off the 6 shots.
Yeah, like a 6-shooter.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, it would give enemies more breathing time, so it would be a nerf that would help make him less oppressive, because 12 ammo is a lot, and it gives you a lot of opportunity to miss.
Yeah.
Realmzy, what would you keep? Negative. What negative change currently? So the devs go, you know what? We fucked it. We understand. We're going to revert it. But Realmzy, you have to pick one negative change we keep. What negative change are you keeping from the kit currently?
I've seen it's very difficult because I think a lot of people don't like his new kit overall. Personally, for me, I love myself a good dive with a flying character. I will do my best. I'll heal the team, and if there's a flying character in the air, as a Jeff, I'll do my best to just diff that flying character and purposely focus them. So I think for me personally, I'd keep the damage that's done with the water, purely because with that, Jeff is kind of an anti-flyer now. So if there's an Iron Man above your team and they can't hit him with the right aim, all you've really got to do is spray him with water, and 1, he either retreats, or 2, he's pressured enough that all your team can focus him, and you use that extra damage through that water beam to pretty much take him out.
I mean, that's a pretty good answer because it is technically negative. It does fall under negative because it has reduced healing. So if Jeff changed back and we kept the beam, he would be healing less than he was before, which was already a downside of Jeff. So I would definitely say you've answered it in a way that seems fair. And it is true. Like, whilst it does fuck all damage, it is enough to at least make flyers have to back off a bit. And
Yeah.
it does often feel like with Jeff, in the current version, not in the early access version, that when you're fighting flyers, you'll hit like 2 or 3 shots and then you just start whiffing. I don't know if anybody else has this experience, but I'll like clock a flyer 3 times in a row and then they'll be on like 25 health and they'll start running and I'm like, I can't aim now. I've forgotten how to aim. So the beam would be, I think the beam's the smart answer, to be honest.
I think we need to also reiterate, like when we're saying like picking these downsides that we want to keep, we need to make sure we remind everybody we're not like advocating for any of these changes to stay, but we're giving
this is just a fun scenario.
We're giving like an option, like, okay, if you absolutely are dead set on changing Jeff, these are the things that we'd be okay with keeping.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, we're not supporting the changes at all, but if we have to pick a change that we would like to stay, these are the things that we want.
Well, to be entirely clear, I've said this a bunch of times. There are 2 things that I will not accept staying on Jeff. That I think fundamentally break his personality. The bubbles and the swimming. The fact that he can swim for 6 seconds is criminal, and the bubbles need to be burst. He has I know he's got a small hitbox, but it's a rectangle. It's not hard to hit. It's just not very tall. It's quite wide. He's like got the dwarf build. He's short and stocky. So the idea that he can only heal at like 30 healing per second whilst being shot at, even Jeff's damage right now, in the early access is higher than 30 damage per second. It isn't very good. And you have 6 seconds to escape someone. I died to a Spider-Man last night. I haven't died to a Spider-Man in years, and the game's not been out for years.
Yeah.
So I cannot accept, no matter what happens, I will never be happy with Jeff again if his swim and his bubbles do not get made to feel better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, if I had to keep one negative, fuck, man. The easy one to go with, like the one that has the least effect and the cop out answer that isn't technically cheating is the ultimate, because it got a buff and it takes more time to charge. But I'm not no bitch. I'm gonna say that you know what? I don't want to steal your answer, Realmzy, even though it's the correct one. So I'll say we'll keep the shots. We'll keep the 3 shots, even though it's psychopathic. I want to know what that knockback would be like if I had the mobility and the speed to buzz around the map and like sneak behind someone and boop them off the map and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it would be ideal, but the ability to have that knockback on your main attack, in combination with the old swim and bubbles. Not meta, not strong, definitely not ideal, but maybe chaotic and fun, which is what Jeff mains enjoy a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the final question of like the lighter ones, the Jeff rework drops tomorrow. Are you guys going to main Jeff out of spite? You keep playing him anyway. Are you gonna switch to a different character, play a different character entirely, never go back to Jeff again? Or quit Marvel Rivals entirely if it launches as is? What would you do? We'll start with King Jeff. Speak for the people. What are the people going to do? Lauren, it's an example. It isn't.
So a lot of people that I'm seeing are they're advocating for just a Jeff. I forget the word for it. Like refusing to play Jeff.
Strike.
Like if we drop the Jeff pick rate,
strike.
Then they'll get the idea of like, hey, they're not enjoying this, even if they don't see this like video.
Mm-hmm.
And me personally, what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna play Jeff as long as I can tolerate it. Like probably within the first 24 hours, I'm gonna give up. I don't really play Rival that much lately anymore. I'm here just for my server of Jeffs and to be their voice. But it seems like a lot of them are just gonna stop playing Jeff in comp and quick play.
Yeah.
And if anything, they're just going to play him in Doom and Doom practice. So I'm seeing a big expectation of Jeff to just be almost non-existent outside of Doom.
But can you be a Doom Jeffy if you can't kiss?
You can go and munch on the food on the table. That's about it.
True. You could pay.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to not be able to kiss other Jeffs. It's gonna hurt, like actually hurt.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of Jeffs will take that trade off. Like,
I mean,
even if it kills me, I'm willing to do this.
I mean, look at Realmzy's lips. Don't you just want to kiss those? Isn't that just a kissable face? Look at that.
We all.
Look at that kissable
he looks
face.
a little nervous.
It's Realmzy reading the patch notes.
It is, yeah.
Scal says that they'll main them out of spite. I've seen a couple of chatters say that they won't play them. Others are just saying smooch. They're like, we just want to kiss. no.
Honestly, I think if they made it, if they took away the whole like Aqua, what's the name of the left click, the spraying water? What's the actual name of that ability?
Aqua Splash or Aqua something?
Splash, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
If they like just keep that as it is now and don't make it do damage, I think a decent percentage of the Jeff players would be like satisfied. Like, okay, I can still kiss other Jeffs.
Shh, don't tell them
because there's a lot of people
they
that
will
are like,
do
that's all they
anything
care
to
about.
not restore Jeff. Aqua Burst?
Oh yeah,
Joyful
100%.
Splash? Okay, chat can't agree. I'm getting two different answers, meaning they're confused about which ability we're talking about.
If they like butcher Jeff and they don't make any changes, I'm getting on a plane to go to Hangs Out China, and I'm going to the NetEase headquarters.
The four of us. It'll be a
I'm
co-op
gonna
mission.
I'm gonna possibly topple the Chinese government. Like,
we
this is
take
gonna be a
over
big
the
shit.
Chinese Communist Party and we run the country so we can restore Jeff. I mean, it sounds like a great idea.
I mean, the Jeffs on my server are behind it. I've been hyping them up using Warhammer quotes and Warhammer content to really get them in the mindset of like, burn the heretic, kill the mutant, purge the unclean.
Honestly, that's going to be the Jeff's attitude going forward. Anytime a new Jeff, we get told Jeff's going to get changed, people are going to be so jaded and ready to fight. They're like, what? What? They're changing? We got told it was a buff last time and they killed us.
Yeah.
I've been having them like quote stuff like, "What is your duty? My duty is to serve Jeff. Serve Jeff's will. What is Jeff's will? That we fight and die. What is death? It is our duty."
Yes.
Okay, folks. I have one last question for you. Hey, thank you for subscribing with Prime. I have one last question for you. Has this conversation changed where you stand on your review of Jeff earlier? Or are you in the same place? You still think it's trash? Have we pulled you more towards hating it more? Do you think maybe it's not as bad as it sounded after having a conversation about it? Where do you all stand on it? Flank, do you want to go?
I stand where the people stand.
You stand with I mean, obviously, you're King Jeff. You have to. You are the people's Jeff.
If the people decide they love it, then I love it. If the people decide they hate it, I hate it.
I mean, it's a safe way to stay king. They're not going to rebel if you serve them.
I'm a good king.
Flank, what do you think? Have you changed your opinion at all throughout this conversation, or are you in the same place you were? You said what, 1 or 2 stars?
Yeah, well, okay, so first off, it's no surprise that I'm very upset about this change. Although I do not play Jeff, I am going to make it my personal duty, privilege, and honor to personally flank whoever supports these bogus changes in chat. I am going to be putting #SafeJeff in every match I play from here on out. And if I see one person who says that these changes are warranted, I promise you, right hand raised to the heavens, I will find you and I will spawn camp you. So that's kind of where I stand. This war is not over, it has only begun, and the message will be sent.
Hey, a noble knight if we ever saw one. We've got the king, we've got the knight. Realmzy, where do you fall? Are you going to be the jester?
I see, I'm like mixed because I'm not like gonna stop playing him. Purely because I like his playstyle at the moment. But I think I've told my bunch, you know, a lot of my content pretty much with this whole rework has been thrown out the window. But I think even if we do get this whole entire rework, and nothing really changes much with it, I've promised my bunch that I'll deliver them like a brand new series where I will just flank their backlines and practically piss on them, as I've said. I will squirt them and finish them off no matter what. This change isn't gonna affect me much. And I'll still be diving as Jeff, and I'll do my best to provide a way then that you can still make him viable, even though he's different to how he is. I think a lot of people that are coming away from him and like, yeah, I'm not going to play him anymore. That's exactly what the people who hate Jeff want you to do. So I believe it's your duty as a real Jeff main to be even more annoying as you were before. So you need to make them and be like, oh, I really regret that they've reworked him now, because he's more annoying than he originally was. Giving them a reason to more complain, giving a better image for Jeff's. Like, we are just as annoying now, even though you've tried taking us down. You ain't gonna stop us no matter how much you kill us. So it's like, I'm not gonna stop just because some whiny little paperclip DPS couldn't kill me in the backline because their aim isn't good. I'm just gonna dive them and just soak them with the showers that they don't take. Pretty much. And I'll stand on that.
So when I asked, are you going to be the jester, you turned around and went, no, I'm the chaos sorcerer.
Oh yeah, I'm the jester then. I'll go with it. I'll just be as annoying as before.
Just an agent of chaos here to sow discontent among the enemy ranks. You thought you had us? No, we're worse than we were before. You nerfed us, so we're going to take your elo with us.
Yeah. No nerf is gonna stop me. I'll still dive any icy eagles I see. I'll still dive any Spidey PB mans. All of them.
Oh.
They better watch me coming, because this is war.
Well, you heard it here. We've got the noble king, a man of the people. We've got a knight ready to fight beside you, and an agent of chaos, also a jester, ready to sow any amount of discontent they can find in the enemy lines. Where are you guys gonna fall in chat? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna give up? Are you gonna keep fighting?
When we get ready to end the stream, I have something I want to say to my server.
Don't worry, of course. I'm gonna give you all time to do your shout outs and say anything else you want to say before we wrap anything up, which we are heading towards. I just want to say thank you for the 5 USD in the YouTube chat from Astakia. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but I appreciate it. Smiley face. I think is that the end? Are we done?
I think so.
No, there's one more thing, and that is the call to action. Yes. And what does chat do? They've seen the stream. They're convinced. They're angry. They're pitchforks are in the air. What do they do?
What are you guys gonna do?
As the voice of the people, I feel like
I think this King Jeff should
to answer this
here.
one. I think so. My server has kind of been ground zero for this whole operation. Like we pretty much spawned the Save Jeff hashtag. We went and raided the Marvel Rivals official Discord server that has like 4 million users in it.
Mid crash out, I sent all my chat to your server, didn't I? And I was like, go to them, ask them for help, ride to their aid.
We made it so bad that every single time like any kind of like community note or whatever is put in that server about the Jeff rework, it gets a thumbs down. Like, this rework is awful. Like some of them have like hundreds of downvotes and like 8 or 9 upvotes. And we even made it to where in that server you can't publish hashtag Save Jeff. It gets
they banned the term Save Jeff from the server.
Yeah. And I think the only reason I haven't been banned from that server yet is because the mods in that server understand that if I get banned and I'm like the crown authority on this Save Jeff movement, it's gonna be all hell breaks loose in their server. Yeah. They're gonna have at least 1,000 users blowing up the chat every second of the day. I think what people need to do is, so if you're in my server, and my server will be linked at on this video.
Mods, can we post the links in chat in both YouTube and Twitch chat? I sent you 3 links to post in chats. Will you make sure you're spamming them in the chats?
So in my server, we have a few different channels that people who want to get involved can go to, where they're view only. So we have roles for content creators and we have a role for propaganda creators. And we have the Save Jeff chat, which is just propaganda. It's all these different call to action posters that you've seen all over the place. I'm pretty sure like every single one that you guys have probably seen has originated from my server. We also have a Jeff content channel where you can go, and we have a bunch of small creators and a bunch of big creators where you can go and you can watch their content, give it views, give it likes, boost its appearance on the algorithm, even though the algorithm is dog shit. Pardon my language.
Oh, you can say that.
What I want you guys to do is go on to Marvel Rivals Twitter or X account, their Instagram account, their TikTok, their YouTube, put Save Jeff, tell them you hate this change, make your voices heard.
Yeah.
Because I can only carry this so far, and you guys have been doing phenomenal.
Something
It's
I do
gotten
think
so big.
you need to say
We
is
are-
be respectful whilst you do it, though. Don't
Yes,
don't
100%.
don't become a
be
hate mob.
toxic.
Don't be toxic. Be
No,
respectful.
don't be running in there threatening to dox the employees and
Yeah.
stuff, as many have.
Let
Yes,
them know you're
keep it-
unhappy, but respectfully.
Yeah.
Respectful but firm.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
let them know, like, we do not like these changes. And this movement has gotten so big.
It's
And
huge.
I've already talked to y'all about it. There's a Screen Rant article written about the petition. Now, we didn't start the petition. I don't know who started it, but I got my hands on it, and I've been advertising it everywhere. It's even in my Discord bio for a few servers. And you guys have been doing phenomenal so far. I just got a raid alert. Thank you for all the people that
I'll need
joined
to
my
make a
server.
new invite link because the link got shut down.
Fluffy. Yeah.
Okay,
There's a new
that's
one.
pretty
So,
bad.
if I may, so for those who are going to be joining the Discord channel and getting to this propaganda, I'm going to just say something real quick about the content creation portion of things. So if you are to post these memes, hashtag Save Jeff posters on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, please, please, please remember to @ and tag Marvel Rivals.
Yes.
And this is extremely important because if you don't, they're not going to see it. And it doesn't matter if you have 3 followers or 40,000. Tagging Marvel Rivals and hashtag Save Jeff is the best way you can actually get their attention. And if you see other posts, other people posting these, share them. Spread the word, comment, get the algorithm up. But it is extremely important that if we are going to be flooding these platforms and spreading Jeff awareness, we need to be adding Marvel Rivals, because that is how their social media department is going to analyze things. That's how they're going to react to the situation. So I cannot stress this enough. It is paramount that everything you do, again, be respectful, be demure, don't be over spammy. But if you are to do this and use the propaganda in the Discord, remember to @ them.
Oh, one thing I was just reminded by one of my guys to mention this. We've gotten so much traction, Reddit has been silencing Jeff mains.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like,
saw somebody
Reddit posts
mention that
about
in
the
chat.
Jeff changes have been getting auto-deleted and taken down. Users have been getting banned, they've been getting suspended. Like, this whole movement, like, I know it's just a game. A lot of people are going to make fun of us for being this dedicated to it, but I am tremendously proud of the effort that the Jeffs from my server have been putting into this. Every single step of the way. None of this would have been possible if it weren't for the people in my server starting this. And the dedicated work of our content creators and our propaganda creators pumping out these videos and artwork left and right. Even if you don't join my server, which is perfectly fine, I'm not doing this to get a high population in my server. I want you guys to, at minimum, go and follow all these different creators, especially Raven, Realmzy, Flankmetra. Even if you don't know these guys, you never heard of them before, follow them. There's also the Gregonator and several other content creators. On their social media accounts, just go into the people they're following. If it's a Jeff creator that's active in the Save Jeff fight, follow them too. Do whatever you can within reason to really support the people that are throwing the big punches.
Yeah, Jeff needs you.
Yeah, exactly. Jeff needs you.
Like, the Jeff fight does not
I
exist.
apologize. I'm so choked
Like,
up,
we can- We can sit here and ramble on and on for, hours on end about this, but at the end of the day, this stream does not matter if the people watching it don't get directly involved.
100%.
Yeah, agreed.
And again, be respectful. Don't break the
Yes.
rules. If they've banned using the term #SaveJeff, that's their decision. And whilst it's annoying and a bit lame, it's their Discord. We can't blame them for moderating their Discord in a way that they think is best for their community. So be respectful of the rules. Don't harass people, but make sure your opinion is known, and keep making sure your opinion is known. The early access is until, I believe, Friday, which means I have access until Friday, but you guys don't get access until then. So you have at least until Friday before you get to try it. So keep going, keep giving your opinion, and then when you get to try it, give it some more with the backing of the fact you try it, and maybe you don't like it. I'm gonna be honest, guys. It was worse than I expected it to be.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, for anyone that has seen my video or seen my stream from yesterday, it is worse than I think any of us expected it to be. It was rough.
Oh, I think you need to put another server invite link, by the way. I got another raid alert, but it's been resolved. One of the other mods went and handled it. So y'all should be good to swarm my server if you want to.
Yeah, I'll get you another invite.
But yeah, like at the end of the line, the Jets from my server, I love you guys. I tell you every single day, at least once a day, I'll tell you good night, good morning, I love you. If I don't see you again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Let's keep this fight going. We have until Friday. We can win this thing. This is going to be so easy from here on out for us. We just got to keep pushing, keep this momentum up. We got it.
100%. All right, guys, I am going to love you and leave you, though. This has been a delightful chat. I was quite stressed about hosting this. I've never hosted anything before, but before I know King Jeff, you were worried because you're not like a public speaker. I want to say you guys nailed this. You did a really good job. I think you've all done a good job at explaining your points of view, making sure that we spread the word of our holy mission to save Jeff in a way that is hopefully entertaining for you guys in chat. Is there anything you guys want to say before we go? Anywhere you want to shout yourselves out to? Where can everybody find you? Let's do that. I mean, we know we can find King Jeff in the Discord server. We've been spamming it. Look in chat. You'll see a link. Click it. Hang out there. There's a wonderful group of people trying to organize different ways to save Jeff that are reasonable and not harassment. Again, do not harass anybody. We do not want this to turn into a negative crusade that is hateful and bad. We want it to be a positive thing about trying to make sure Jeff stays a character that we love. So that's where you'll find.
Also,
go on.
Another character. No, this is just about Jeff, but the Thor mains, they kind of need our help too, because they're also drastically struggling. They're getting an aggressive nerf as well. So the Jeffs and the Thors need to kind of work together, coincide with each other.
I said this on stream yesterday. I know nothing about 4, so I don't, because I've heard conflicting things about the 4 changes. Some 4 players have told me it's really good. It's just going to make him boring. Some people said it's so nerf. I don't know. The 4 one confuses me because it's so inconsistent. But hey, if it's not fun, I'm against it. You guys know me. I am. Whatever is more fun should be the thing we do. And if the change makes 4 less fun, even if it's at the cost of more power, I would say it's not worth doing.
And actually,
go on.
Oh, yeah, I guess just a quick question for chat here. Obviously, the stream has been fire. I think we've hit 100 viewers on each platform
we did.
The entire time. So obviously, you guys are killing it. So I'm curious if we would be interested in doing some more streams. Maybe not in this format, but if if we could gather some more Jeff mains, 6-stack, go crusading perhaps in Marvel Rivals, do some quick play flank shenanigans. Is that something y'all would be interested in to help promote the cause? Hashtag save Jeff. I guess just let us know.
Yeah, type yes in chat if it's something you'd watch. Hell yeah.
Just
yes,
my server,
yes,
y'all better type yes in
hell
that.
Yes. I mean, this seems like a pretty positive response. I mean, we can look
right
to
for
stack
flank
together.
caller, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only issue is when you stack with 6 Jeff mains, who gets Jeff?
Well, I can play honestly. I'll let the streamers.
Don't worry.
All right, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys, but I really want you to give yourselves the shout out you deserve. So, Realmzy, where can people find you? Where can they see your content? Tell us about yourself. Tell us where to go and find you if we want to see the TikTok shit posting legend.
Pretty much, I'm on 3 platforms, so it's just Realmzy _. I normally post a lot on TikTok and Instagram, I do have a YouTube, but it's pretty dead. So I don't know what to post on there. So I'm still trying to figure out the YouTube algorithm and such. But I do go live on TikTok sometimes and go crazy, and everyone loves to watch me tweak apparently in ranked, which is always fun. But yeah, I mostly post a bunch of goofy music videos that Jeff sings on Instagram and TikTok, and everybody kind of just goes with the flow of it, pretty much.
Oh, Realmzy, by the way, you have a diehard fan in chat who said he knows your channel link by heart.
Oh yeah,
It's
he's from
the
my
Squirrel.
server. That's Squirtle. He's one of my mods.
It's a
We chillin'.
diehard fan right there.
Yeah, real good old mod, Mr. Squirtle.
And of course, the may I have a bubble artisan, Flankmetra, creator of many a famous meme that you may not even know came from Flankmetra, but may I have a bubble in fact was a creation from their dark, very dark mind. So Flankmetra, where can they find you if they want to see your fabulous content?
Oh, that is the best introduction I've heard. But yeah, so I did create the Brother May Have Some Bubble video, which apparently blew up pretty well. I didn't think it was going to do well, but yeah, if you ever saw that, that was me. So yeah, mostly TikTok and Instagram shenanigans, although YouTube and Twitch is kind of the plan moving forward. Obviously, Flankmetra. Obviously, we do a lot of flanking. So yeah, you know, if flanking is your thing, not particularly with Jeff. I don't consider myself a Jeff main or creator,
Jeff
but
ally.
you know, obviously I am a very strong ally of Mr. Jeffy. So yeah, I mean, we'll go flanking sometime, do some streams, get some Jeffs together. It'll be fun. And Discord. So yeah, I don't know, just click link, and any socials that might tickle your fancy. And yeah,
I think I have links for both of you. Yeah, I do.
Brother may have some bubble.
And okay, here are some links. Hopefully they work. We'll see. So there's a link tree for Flankmetra, and there is the TikTok for Realmzy. Hopefully those have come through on both chats fine.
Yes, I see them.
Wonderful. Thank you for hanging out with me. For, you know, I guess for you, Realmzy, it's evening. For the Americans among us, it's early afternoon now, I assume.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's 1:30 p.m. for me.
Yeah, it's been fun. We'll have to definitely, maybe if chat definitely told us they want to see it. We'll have to hang out again some more.
Yes, definitely, I agree.
All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Chat, say
Great
goodbye.
time.
Say goodbye. Spam your love.
Goodbye, chat. We can win this
Bye,
fight.
everyone.
Don't give
I
up.
love
Don't
you
give
all.
up, chat.